How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Austin Shope here. Today's video, we're going to be talking about fighters who cannot afford to lose this weekend. So for the ones who don't know who's fighting this weekend, in the main event, we have Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov, and then the co-main is Shara Bullet versus Michael Page. But there's some other guys on there where it's like, okay, they've already lost a few fights, or they're like either really inconsistent where they'll win a fight, lose a fight, win a fight, lose a fight, or whatever. But some of these guys really can't afford to lose this weekend, you know? So we have a list of guys going on right now, and we're going to get to this. So tune in. So the first fighter that I saw that came to mind on this card is Terrence McKinney. And the reason why I went with him is because, well, one, he's one of those fighters where he'll win a fight and then literally lose his next fight. But he always, every time he wins, he always gets like a 10-second first round knockout, dude. It's weird. So it's like he's like a good fighter, but at the same time he's not. I don't know. But if you guys didn't see his last fight, I think this was his last fight, maybe his like second to last, but he fought this guy named Esteban Ribovics, okay? And he fought Daniel Zellhuber and beat him at UFC, I think 300. But, dude, no, 303, my bad. But it was a really crazy knockout. It was like a scary knockout. So if you guys just need to go and look that up yourselves, but the way that he just got knocked out by him, I was like, dude, how is he going to come back from this? So he really needs to win this weekend, and I think to keep his contract. I honestly, if he keeps having a record like this, I don't think he'll be, I don't think Dana would re-sign him. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't hate Terrence McKinney. I just don't think he's UFC level. So I don't know. He could prove me wrong this weekend, but he can't afford to lose. All right, next fighter we got on the list is Con Offley. If you guys don't know who Con Offley is, he fought Myron Santos in the Ultimate Fighter finale and got knocked out super bad. That was like one of the craziest knockouts I ever seen. So I guess he's getting another shot, you know, in the UFC. So if he needs to win this fight in order to stay in the UFC, I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think honestly, if he wins this fight and keeps winning, then I think he'll be safe. But I think Dana maybe saw something in him. Maybe he had a few fights after that knockout. But I don't know, dude. I think since he's like kind of like new into the UFC and he had to be on the Ultimate Fighter in order to get a contract, I think he's gonna have to, you know, win some fights and impress the boss to keep his contract. So I think he needs to win this weekend and win a lot more after that. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but let me hear y'all's thoughts on that. All right, next fighter that we got on the list is Sergey Pavlovich. And the reason why he's on this list, even though he's still like in the top 5 or whatever in the heavyweight division, this dude lost his last 2 fights. He got knocked out by Tom Aspinall. Okay, cool, whatever. And then he got pieced up by Volkov. And I mean, like at one point, this dude was one of the most feared heavyweights in the heavyweight division, okay? He was known as the White Francis Ngannou, bro. This guy had power behind his hands, but now he looks like he can't even fight. So it's like, he needs to, if he wants to get back in like the title contention talks or whatever, he needs to put on a performance against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and he needs to freaking finish him. He needs to freaking knock him out in the first round. That's what he needs to do, okay? In order for him to get his hype back, he needs to do that, because if he's gonna fight him like he fought the other 2 people, yeah, dude, nah, he ain't gonna make it. And I'm not saying Jairzinho's a slouch, but like Pavlovich cannot afford to lose this fight. You know, he can't. And unless he wants to like freaking fight up and comers for like the next few years until he even gets back in the top 5. It's just like he has to play this smart. He has to do what he does best, and that's you know, his boxing. His boxing's the best thing he has going for him. So if he can tap into that prime Pavlovich, bro, he'll get the dub. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think out of anybody on this list, he's one of the guys for sure that can't afford to lose this weekend. All right, second to last fighter on the list, we got Michael Venom Page. And even though he's like new to the UFC and he still has a lot of hype behind his name, what is this guy's goals in the UFC? Is he just trying to be an entertainer and have entertaining fights, or is he trying to actually, you know, do something with his career, like within the UFC? You know, he in his debut, he had a really good fight and made it look easy against Kevin Holland, and then, you know, went on and got killed by Ian Gary. So now he's fighting Shara Bullet at middleweight. So I don't know what his goals are in the UFC. Maybe he found a new home at middleweight. I like I said, I think in the last couple videos, I already said MVP has the build and frame to be a middleweight, just like Kevin Holland does. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's the UK version of Kevin Holland, and I know I'm gonna have some hate in the comments, but it's true. You know, he's really that type of a fighter. I mean, he really is just like an entertainer, you know. And I'm not saying like Shara Bullet, dude. He's from what I've seen of him so far, that dude is a beast. Okay, like he could probably be a top 5 middleweight right now. So it's not gonna be an easy fight for MVP, but in order for him to get some attention at middleweight and to see how good he does at middleweight, I think beating someone like Shara Bullet would be the best fight for him, you know, to really, because one, it'll get him right into the top 15 at middleweight, and then he can work his way up from there. And if he beats Shara Bullet, someone who's a young, you know, up and comer in the middleweight division, then it'll put MVP on notice. So that's all I got to say about this fight. But I definitely think out of these two fighters, MVP is the one who really can't afford to lose. Okay, our last fighter on the list is Israel Adesanya. Now, if I had to pick one fighter out of this whole card who's like needs to win this weekend, it's him. Okay, so someone who is arguably one of the greatest middleweights of all time, right? Who at one point was the most dominant middleweight in the division. It was him and Robert Whittaker at one point. And then once Alex Pereira came into the middleweight division, he just like, yeah, he beat him that first time, and then Izzy came back and beat him. But it's almost like after that first Pereira fight, we never really saw the same Izzy again, because I mean, like, look at the fight with him and Sean Strickland. Israel Adesanya needs to tap in, right, to his, you know, his old self and show a stellar performance against Imanov this weekend if he wants to get back into that title contention. Now, that might not be his goal. Maybe he's just, you know, being a good company man at this point and just taking fights, but Imanov's not a slouch. I mean, I just don't think he's on the same level as Izzy. So I think Izzy is going to have a cakewalk this weekend, but he needs to tap in and really just lock in and win this fight this weekend if he wants to get back into the title talks again. So that's all I really got to say about that one. It's kind of an obvious, but I figure you guys will agree with me on that. But yeah, there's not really much to say about this, and that's all I gotta say. So yeah, tune in for my next video coming out. I'm gonna be doing a prediction video on the next pay-per-view and giving my thoughts on that. So Make sure you guys subscribe and put on post notifications so you don't miss out. But yeah, I'm gonna end it off with that, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.